So this is my first pro-revenge story. Perhaps it is my best story. I still smile to myself when I remember this. It is long, but it does span over a decade. Scroll to the TLDR at the end if you want. So way back in junior high school, I had a best friend who was my neighbor. Let's call her Michelle. Michelle was cool, but her family was crazy. Her mother, psycho bitch, PB, had some definite disconnect with reality. This will be important later. Michelle was the oldest of 6 children. Her next sibling, a year younger than me, we will call Crazy Hooligan, CH. Now, CH was known throughout the neighborhood and school for being a right little shit. Vandalism, pranks, low-level stuff would happen. We all knew was him, but he was smart enough to know what could get him in trouble and what couldn't. As he grew, his behavior escalated. His favorite thing to do to Michelle was walk by her and whisper, "Incest's the best," under his breath. He was a royal creep to any female that he came across and had a special hatred for his sister's friends. When Michelle moved on to high school, I was a year behind her. I was stuck in that school with CH. I didn't have that many friends and was a shy, timid girl. CH decided to use every possible opportunity to harass me. Knocking my books down, grabbing me, saying incredibly sexual things to me. This was the 90s, and before the schools took sexual harassment complaints seriously, and he never did it when around other people, so I had to endure. For 2 years, I endured. Now Michelle's mom, PB, had some very interesting ideas. When Michelle was about 16, PB thought she was going through menopause, and so insisted on having another child because she was too young for menopause, and I guess she thought that it would hold off on the menopause. At Michelle's birthday, I found a 20 on the street outside. I was ecstatic because I was saving for a leather jacket and my mother was matching, so that was 40 to my jacket. Michelle was happy for me, but PB insisted I give it to Michelle because it was her birthday, even though Michelle said she didn't want it. She browbeat me until I gave in despite Michelle's protests. Michelle, bless her heart, slipped it to me after. PB was bitching about CH's behavior one day, and I suggested military school. "Oh no," she said, "military school makes you gay." She told me one time that if a gay person sneezed on you, you would get AIDS. I didn't tell her my sister was gay. After I moved on to high school, CH couldn't harass me anymore. So he went nuclear. He told his mother that I and another of Michelle's close friends were gay. The woman went ballistic. The next time I called, I got a screaming tirade of the most vile swear words I have heard to this day. At least I wasn't the other girl. PB tried to run her over with her car. Like drove up on the curb and everything. Girl had to jump out of the way to keep from getting hit. No witnesses. And oh, did I mention that PB's ex, her older kid's dad, was high up in the police department? So this woman could do what she wanted. Well, they sold their house and moved because PB couldn't stand living next to a lesbian, claiming it wasn't safe with the kids and all. Eye roll. Michelle and I lose touch since we don't go to the same school and PB monitors everything she does. So I lose a good friend over this, don't make new ones until I switch schools for 11th grade. Fast forward many years, I am out of school working at a grocery store. Who do I come across but CH? Works in produce. We both smoke, so we bump into each other often. He treats me like an old friend for some reason, and I am well versed in getting vengeance years after a crime. I play nice, biding my time, and formulate a plan. Having gone to school to hone my natural talents in psychology, I can pretty quickly zero in on people's weakest spots. Little comments here and there let me know that his mother's fear and hatred of gay people have taken root in him. So my plan is set. Phase 1. When he complains one day about gay people, I put the act on. I stuff out my cig in frustration. CH. Just stop. Everyone knows you are gay. They just won't admit it. We all talk about it. It's obvious. There isn't anything wrong with it. Just admit it. Now, no one thought he was gay. No one talked about it. But how do you prove people aren't talking about you behind your back? The more they deny it, the more paranoid you get. Every little thing becomes evidence. And suddenly, I am the only person in his life who will be honest with him. or so I want him to think. He, of course, blinks like a deer in the headlights and stammers that he is not gay. He's a dandy, so I point out his meticulous hair, nails, clothes. How he is always clean. He is a tidy person. I know he cooks well because he used to cook for the family. I basically throw out every gay stereotype I possibly can tie to him. The cherry on the top is, I tell him he just gives off a vibe. I tell him this a few times over several weeks, give him something to think about. Phase 2. Then I have my gay friends start coming into the store and hitting on him. Every time, without fail, he would run to me and ask why it was happening. I told you, it's a vibe. I don't know. You just seem gay. I had female friends come in, chat him up, then mention he would be perfect for their guy friend. He threw himself into dating, but he still kept getting hit on. Imagine that. Grew out his hair, stopped manicuring his nails, dressed sloppier. Nothing worked. Then one day he saw 2 women kissing. He bitched about it, and I said, "Oh, CH, now I know you are gay." He was confused, and I explained how every straight man ever loved watching 2 hot chicks together. Now, I am sure some straight guys don't want to see this. However, I was confident enough that with the good old boy crowd he ran with, that would be normal. He confirmed it with his friends and became morose. Phase 3. Completion. Then it came. The day I had been waiting for. At this point, I was his confidant, his confessor, his therapist. I wasn't particularly nice about it, so I still don't know why he told me this. But CH came to me one day and told me that at a party the night before, he got drunk and made out with a guy. Now, I know making out with a guy doesn't make you gay. In CH's world, though, it most certainly did make you gay. I stared at him for like half a minute, mouth hanging open, then started laughing. Laughing and laughing and laughing. As I laughed, I told him I had been messing with him, that I had sent my friends in, that everything I said about him being gay wasn't true. But now it was. He really was gay. I hadn't realized it. His face crumpled. I stopped laughing and reminded him of the hell he had put me through for years, how he caused me to lose my best friend. I told him I was not his friend, had never been his friend. I also let him know that we were even. It was over. He respected that and didn't try and get me back. We still spoke off and on, and I was always cordial. He left not long after. Never heard from him again. Still makes me happy.